Good evening and thank you for joining me tonight. I'm Julie Bursick. Tonight we start off with a story beyond the headlines. It's true of this woman in this video that you're just about to see, doing her duty to treat Luis Cruz Ramos after officers shot him Friday after that massive manhunt. The police cruiser with a bullet hole in the windshield is the car of her husband, William Burton, who was in it when those shots were fired at it. When WKBN heard about this part of the story, it got us thinking. What was it like for a wife to help save the man accused of trying to kill her husband just one day earlier? Well, today the Burton family talked with 27 First News reporter Christina Mullen. It's a story you'll see only on WKBN.
The Burton family has been through it all the last 2 days. The man with his children on his back, that's Bill Burton, the Youngstown officer who was shot at by Luis Cruz Ramos when the manhunt started.
I felt something cross my face and the windshield blew out, so it happened that fast, so you didn't have really time to process anything.
And as you can see, Ramos hit the driver's side windshield of the cruiser. Bill says he didn't even try to duck out of the way.
It's just, God's grace and the Ford engineers, because just how I was sitting, how the car's designed and where I was sitting, it was just, you know what I mean? I was just far enough back so it wasn't going to hit anything. But
this bullet hole didn't end Bill's workday.
After that, I said I got angry, and at that point it was, we need to get this guy. You know what I mean? So I re-engaged into the pursuit as fast as I could.
Hours later, that's when Bill's wife, Lori, found out her husband was the officer who was shot at.
Actually, Channel 27, you guys were taking photos of the cruiser, and I knew that the car number was in it, and actually Chief Lees was standing next to me at that point, turned to me, was like, you might want to tell your wife what's going on.
Bill had sent me a text that said, I'm okay. Yes, that was me. I'll be home late.
When Lori got home, Bill was already asleep.
I went over and I checked his head to make sure he was okay and gave him a kiss, and I let him sleep because I knew he was exhausted.
The story doesn't end there for the Burton family. When police found Luis Cruz Ramos yesterday, you see the paramedic on the left side of your screen in a green jacket? That's Lori, caring for the man who just tried to kill her husband.
We get there and it was just business as usual. You're taking care of a patient. You're not taking care of a person who did this. You're taking care of someone who has an injury. You're taking someone who's in pain.
I know it was emotional for her. I absolutely know that inside she had to have been in complete turmoil inside, but that she was able to do what she had to do and then what needed to be done.
Mentally, it's a lot of God's grace. You have to, at that point, grasp onto everything that makes you a good person.
Lori cared for Ramos until they got to the hospital. That's when she let him know what he has done.
I looked at him and I said, the officer you shot at the other night was my husband, the father of 5 children. And he looked at me and I said, by God's grace, he was protected from your bullets. By God's grace, I forgive you. And they wheeled him out and never spoke another word to him.
Youngstown's very own heroic family, the Burtons. In Youngstown, Christina Mullen, WKBN 27 First News.